This might not look like much, but I've just planted out some garlic and shallots. I got both from Wilkinson's, very reasonably priced. You got 3 bulbs of garlic for about £2 I think, and you got 20 shallot sets for about the same, around two quid I think it was. And I know it doesn't look like much, but we're going to try and do more of the no dig method. So what I spent a few minutes before I planted the garlic and shallots out into this doing was, see how it's got like a metal cage around the side that gives us a bit more extra height. Well, I've used some of this extra height and I put on, I'd say about that much, about 4 or 5 inches worth of all that you see there is homemade compost. It's fairly well rotted, and into that I've planted out the garlic and the shallots, so we'll see how we go. Now the key to this is what I've been putting into the compost. If I've been putting a lot of weed seeds, you know, the dried seed heads on weed plants, they will germinate and I'll get more annual weeds and perhaps some perennial weeds coming up as well. So the key is nice, clean, weed-free compost, and that way it's like a barrier, a bit in a similar kind of way that we use mulch. When we use whatever substance for a mulch, it acts like a barrier. So any weed seeds that are in the soil underneath this compost I've just added, all that is going to block the light out. And I've been seeing on a few different programs, you know, like experiments and comparisons between no dig and dig, and the size of the veg on a no dig bed, I've always seen it to be a lot bigger and larger, and it's less weeds as well. So we'll see how this goes. Right, for the garlic, I planted it about, what, 3-4 inches deep, about 9 inches apart, given quite a lot of space. And then for the shallots in this half, separated by the cane, they're slightly closer together, about 6 inches. Oh, it's roughly one of my handspans from little finger to thumb, about 6 inches apart, and they've only gone about an inch deep. And they should be ready end of May into June next year for the shallots. Perhaps the garlic slightly longer. It's now middle of September, so it might be June, possibly early weeks of July when that's ready to harvest. So we'll see how we get on with those. I'll do an update later on this year once they've sprouted and you can see the tips, and then I'll possibly come back to them next year as well. Another little job I've got going on at the moment, mid-September, is I'm picking off all the tomatoes which are of a decent size but haven't started to ripen yet. They can go indoors where they'll continue to ripen. There's all kinds of things you can do. I just leave them on my kitchen windowsill with a banana nearby, because as bananas ripen they give off a gas called ethylene or ethylene, depending on how you pronounce it, and that encourages the ripening process in these tomato fruits. Some people put them in paper bags in a dark kitchen drawer. I just find kitchen windowsill does the job for us every year. You don't have to do anything fancy. And some people still use green tomatoes. We don't, we prefer them red, but there's nothing wrong with using green tomatoes. They go very well into chutneys. So if you've got apple trees and you're doing your apple harvests, you know, you can put them together with some green tomatoes, a few other bits and bobs. Jobs are good. But for us, when these have ripened, we've got some parsley here as well. We'll probably cook up a sauce in a pan, some kind of tomato based pasta sauce with a bit of parsley and a few other herbs as well, and we'll freeze that and we can feast on it during the winter months and still get the taste of summer. I'm also planting out some sweet peas. These are going to be kept over winter in my little plastic polytunnel in my backyard. These I got from a recent haul in Wilko's, where they've currently got all the seeds half price. So if you've got any spare few quid and you want to get some cheap seeds, get yourself to Wilko's. Now some people are going, oh yeah, but what about the dates? What about the dates? You know, if you're buying things which you're not going to plant till next year, the dates are fine. So by 2019, can you see? It's now 2017, and that's just these sweet peas. Some of the seeds I bought the other week, their date's like 2021, so they'll be absolutely fine. But these you can sow right now. So what I'm going to do is I've got these module trays. I'll plant them about 1/2 inch deep, I think it is. Yep, 1/2 inch deep. I'll just keep them moist. They will sprout now. It's mid-September, they will sprout now. Obviously, because they're in the polytunnel, that'll give them a bit of assistance, but then in the depths of winter, the growth will slow down. So long as they're kept frost-free, they should be okay. When they get 2 sets of true leaves, I'm going to pinch out the growing tip, and that'll promote a more bushier growth of plant with more side shoots, so ultimately you'll get more flowers. These won't get planted out until probably around May next year, when I deem it safe that they're not going to get any frost when they do get planted out. So these were half price, by the way. So whatever half of 75 is, cheap as you like. And the variety is Giant Wave Mixed. Giant Waved Mixed. So next year, by planting these now, we'll have a little bit of a head start with sweet peas. So that'll prolong our sweet pea flower season. Gives us means that for a few weeks before and a few weeks after we'd normally have sweet peas, we'll have those extra sweet peas that I'm overwintering now, and our house is just going to smell gorgeous when we come out and cut them regularly and bring them inside in little posies. Right, so that's about it. Thanks guys, that's what I'm doing this weekend. Thanks for watching. I'll put the link to my recent Wilko's seed haul. Go and check it out. And as ever, thank you very much. See you later, guys.